brick walls save you from a gunshot? To find that out, I built 3 walls with 3 different types of blocks, which are the most commonly used in construction nowadays: Bahian brick, concrete block, and small brick. Almost every building uses one of these, and usually cement is added to the block. We won't cover all the coatings in today's video, but you'll see the strength of each block type, helping you choose the best one for a safer house. For each block, we'll have all these test weapons: a TX 22 caliber, a Beretta PX 9mm caliber, and a 357 Magnum. If none of these pistols can penetrate the block, we'll use a 5.56 caliber rifle. These will be all the calibers in today's video, starting with the .22, 9mm, .357, and 5.56. The first wall will be made of Bahian brick, and what if any of the guns go through? The one who will act as the test subject and let us know if it went through will be Bob, who will stay behind the blocks and inform us of the result. And just a reminder, for us to do all these tests, we're in a controlled and safe environment at a shooting range that's suitable for carrying out all these experiments with the highest possible safety. Let's start with the 22. First shot. I can already see it made a little mark. The shot hit here, right at the division between the blocks, and made an entry hole. But if we look at the back, it's completely smooth, and our Bob is still breathing, huh? 9mm. One more shot. Now we kinda hit the edge of the block. Maybe there are some fragments left here for Bob, huh? The shot hit right on this little tip here. If there was some plaster and everything, maybe it would have more resistance, but it hit here and went through the block, made quite a hole, by the way. And look here, it's already got some reddish marks. That means maybe he wouldn't have survived. 357 Magnum. Now we didn't hit where there would be cement, but right in the middle of the brick. It made a nice little entry hole, even cracked the block here, but on the back side the damage was huge. In this case, we would have hit Bob's leg here and he got sprayed with brick dust. Man, I think this brick here is the weakest one. The only weapon that would have survived would really be the .22. The Bahian brick wall was very weak and was nearly penetrated. Let's now test a stronger wall. Here, using small bricks, he's starting with the .22. Look, we hit the brick. It pushed it upwards, but it didn't go through anything. There wasn't any trace of it here on Bob. This .22 ammo is pretty weak and probably won't do anything to any of the blocks. So up to now, this one is holding up pretty well. Even without the glue that would hold all of this together, the cement would give much more strength to the whole structure. But this brick alone is already thicker, more solid, and likely much stronger. Now let's go to 9mm. Wow, now there was a little bit more damage. Damn, I hit it right in the middle. And it was exactly on this block here, because look what happened. It was a solid block and it just crumbled into several pieces. The block turned into dust. It went through for sure. I don't know if the bullet hit any of these spots here, but it definitely went through. And now Bob wouldn't be alive anymore. 357 Magnum. Let's see what happens. Wow, oh my God. It tore up the block. Honestly, I thought this block would be more resistant, but the 9mm and the 357 just crushed it. The block turned to dust. I thought it would be much more resistant than it's actually showing here. These last 2 shots definitely would have hit Bob. Now let's move on to the 5.56 rifle and see what happens. I'll even try to do something a little different. For the 5.56, we prepared 2 layers here to make it more resistant. Let's see if it can withstand it now or if it'll turn into brick dust again. My God, I think the 2 stacks of blocks didn't help at all. The blocks just turned into dust. But it's such fine dust that it's hard to believe this was ever a brick. It shattered all the blocks. The shot hit more or less in this direction. Everything that was here, I think about 4 or 5 blocks that were grouped together, just turned into dust. Concrete block wall. This is supposed to be the strongest of all. Will it really be? We're skipping the .22 this time, since it didn't affect the blocks, especially the strongest one. We'll start with the 9mm. Wow, this is still a structural concrete block. It has a thicker wall, making it more rigid and strong to support a building structure. The 9mm shot went through this first wall and almost went through the second one. The internal impact was so strong that this outer part here was thrown outward, but it didn't go all the way through. So it definitely would have withstood a .22, and it also withstood the 9mm. But will the 357 Magnum hold up as well? It pierced again. Did it go through completely? We hit the shot in the middle block. The impact was pretty big, enough to crack it. There are some crack marks, but unlike the 9mm, look what happened, nothing. The back of the block is still smooth, and our Bob is still unharmed so far in his safe concrete house. Let's start the test with a rifle, and if it works, we still have an AK in 7.62 by 39 caliber. Wow, a chunk of the block flew off. Would Bob still be okay now? The shot hit dead center. That also means my aim is good. I didn't miss any. And the impact was so strong that the cracks got much bigger compared to the other shots. The block even bent inward, and at the back it just broke into a million pieces. Some parts disintegrated, there were a lot of cracks, and the shot was close to this central part here, which is solid. And even so, that didn't serve as resistance, and it went all the way through. There's probably some mark here on Bob, and the shot didn't deflect, right? Because when it hits there, it probably changes direction, but for sure Bob wouldn't have withstood it this time. And to top it off, for those who stayed until the end of the video, we're going to fire an AK shot with this super powerful 7.62 by 39 ammunition and see the damage it's gonna do. What a mess, huh? The impact this time was even bigger than the other one. It also hit right in the middle, where the block is much stronger and more solid, and made a hole all the way to the middle of it. Look at the damage it did to this block, which broke. It went through the back. Here, look, there's also an exit hole which shattered this part and went straight through. And it probably hit Bob too, right? It would have seriously affected our little friend who was the test subject for the video and made it to the end. The verdict he just told me here is that he wouldn't have survived anything except the .22. Actually, this block here withstood all the pistols, but when it came to the rifle, a slightly stronger weapon, it couldn't handle it. After all these tests, do you have enough information to know which block to use in your house to make it safer? By the way, I'm leaving a really cool test we did right here on the side, stacking a sequence of bricks and shooting at them to see how many bricks can stop the shot. It's different from today's activity, but it's cool to watch. Check it out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.